we can use the buttons above the scribble strip to interrogate the session and make some useful adjustments. For example, above the last 8 bank we have the sends buttons, and you'll see they're labelled A/F, B/G and so on. What that means is there's basically 5 buttons, but they are able to interrogate 10 sends. So under normal circumstances, the default situation with the scribble strip is that it's showing you the names of the channels and the approximate, well not approximate, the actual level of the fader. If I adjust the level, which you can't see, it's adjusting the actual level out there in dB. If I press the A button, that's going to show me of these particular fader channels here, the A send that has been set up for those channels. As you can see, on the first 4 we've got a send going to deverb, nothing on the 5th one, deverb again on the 6th one. And we can then use the rotary encoders to make adjustments to those send levels. It's a quick way of getting multiple controls over those sends. If I hit the B button, then you can see there's a different send, delay, 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 on those channels. So I can alternate between the different sends. Now, what's interesting is that on the A sends on all those channels is the same send to the same auxiliary. So on A is all go to deverb, on B is all go to delay. Of course, in the Pro Tools session, you could have the A send of one channel going to reverb and the A send of another channel going to something else, and that will appear as a differential send on here. So in actual fact, when you're planning your session, particularly from a mixing point of view, it makes a lot of sense to actually put similar sends on those similar send buttons. So for example, if you've got reverbs that would be generally applied to lots of different vocal tracks, for example, make sure that on all those vocal tracks the sense of that reverb is on, say, the A send. That way, when you press the A button on all the tracks that address that send, it will flash up at the same time, meaning you can control all those send levels at the same time. Quite useful to do. And again, you can flip that down to the phase if you want to make an adjustment there on the faders. The FJ button takes these buttons to the next 5 sends, F to J, if you've got more than 5 sends available. In this particular session we haven't got that. When we have the send buttons enabled, pressing that button again basically takes you back, with no buttons lit, back to the default setting of seeing the standard scribble strip. On the channels, above the faders at the left hand side of the desk, in this left hand block of 8, we have the assignment section that can be used to interrogate and assign inputs, outputs and inserts, for example. So first of all, looking at the inputs and outputs, you can see we have an assign button, an input button, an output button and a cancel button. So if we click on the input button, we can see all the inputs for those particular channels. Equally, the output button shows us all the outputs for those channels. If, for example, we wanted to change some of our inputs, we can then hit the assign button, and we can now use the rotary encoder below a channel to change, and you can see it going through analog 5/6, analog 7/8, analog octapre 12, etc. And then by either hitting the button below or the assign button, that will choose that assignment for that particular channel. Then pressing the assign button takes it back out, and you can see we've kept that assignment for that particular channel. So we can use it for those. Pressing the input button again takes us back to the default scribble strip setting. Or we could use it to actually put a plug-in, insert in. So I'll pick this channel here, and we can see at the moment there's no EQ or dynamics on this particular channel. If we hit the insert button, we can see that we get a message saying insert A, no insert. Off screen that you can't see at the moment is insert B, C, D, E and so on. So we can actually deal with all the slots. So what we'll do is we'll actually press the assign button. It says no inserts. We'll press the assign button, and it then says no insert. Okay, we've got an option to press cancel at this stage, and the rotary encoder below the select is lit up and the button is lit up. Okay, so we'll press the select button. We'll choose what type of insert we want. So we'll choose what type of insert we want. TDM, RTAS, for example. let's choose RTAS, press select. We're then going to the type of plugin, so we've got EQ, these are all the broad range, dynamics, pitch shift, reverb, delay, modulation, and so on. So let's choose dynamics, select, and now we're given a list of all our dynamic plugins that are available on this particular computer. Bomb Factory, compressor, de-esser, expander, Focusrite, Joe-Meek. Let's choose Joe-Meek, press the select button, and the Joe-Meek compressor has appeared on the screen. We can now come out of the assign mode, come out of the insert mode, and the dynamics button is now lit on this channel, showing there is a dynamics plugin, and by pressing that button I can bring that onto screen and see the parameters available on my rotary encoders to operate it. So I can actually put a plugin on without grabbing my mouse at all if I wanted to do that. If I have a plugin window open on screen, on the right hand side of the control surface under the Windows section, the plugin button will have lit up. If I want to just quickly lose that plugin window off the screen, I can hit the button and that will disappear off the screen.